For me, I want to talk about like the mental space.
Hmm.
We've been playing with this book a little bit in the exercise. It is the first exercise in the school, and it is an exercise for our mind. So, the reason for this exercise is I was talking to somebody today about being an addict. One of the first things we have to accept is that we are an addict. And they were talking about their person that's going through the struggle right now is I can't believe that they're an addict. And that terminology, when you go to AA, what number is that?
I'm an addict.
Yeah.
Number one.
Number one,
Yeah.
right? Admitting that you're an addict. So you're identifying yourself as an addict. To me, that's super important. But in the future, it's also something that I believe is super important to get away from because it's how you identify yourself,
Yeah.
what you believe about yourself. I do believe it's a very important step for you to admit to yourself that you have a problem, that you are an addict. But I do not like that other people call you an addict and refer to you an addict. Am I able to think both things?
Yeah, that's an interesting point and an interesting question because it's something that is so personal. Like it's, I think, however you want to identify. I think I look at it as a measure of how open can I be with myself. Like if I'm going to run from just the word, like what else am I running from? I think it's a step to, it's your first step to being, vulnerable and to really opening, saying that you're open to exploring what you've closed off and pushed off for so long. And so for me, I'm just, personal experience, that was just important to say, like, this is just the reality of it. Like, stop trying to like sugarcoat everything that, that's happened. This is just the reality of it. So, but that's only my point of view. If you think that, not you, personally, but, in general, if you think that that's something that's going to hold you back from growing, then identify however you want,
Well, I'm not saying it's going to hold you back from growing, but shaping our identity and what we believe about ourselves and the conversation we have, that's what's important to growing. So I think the accepting that you have an issue is the first step because it's like, okay, I need to change.
Yeah.
I have, to me, it's not, I don't like the I am an addict because that's giving ownership to the addiction. It's more of I have a problem with being addicted because it's something that you could change.
Yeah.
I think it's when you say I am, it's you're identifying as that, and it's not something that can be easily changed. Like that was my, I don't want to go against AA, but that was my biggest issue with AA is you go and you constantly repeat to yourself that I'm an addict, I'm an addict, I'm an addict. But I'm also in a different place now.
Yeah.
I'm 11 years sober. You're
10 and a half.
And for me, I'm not an addict now. Like, would you refer to yourself as an addict right now?
I think, it's tough to say because you think about like, and I'm sure this thought comes across everyone's mind is like, can I go out and just have a beer right now?
Oh, I think
Could I?
about that all the time.
I know that the answer to that is always going to be no.
See,
No matter what.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, yes, I can go have one, but what does that lead to in the future?
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm mentally strong enough and capable that I could go have a drink or a glass of wine with dinner, but then there's that battle that I have within my head. That's why I believe the exercise in this book is so important. Is that my anti-self talking or my best self talking? Like what version of me is talking to say that I want a drink, I could have a drink, I could have one. Is that my best self or my worst self?
Do you think that there's a self that's almost self-sabotaging and like
100%.
Okay.
A
Like being like, come on, do it.
100%. That's right, 100%.
Interesting.
And people talk about this with fitness or weight loss is when does the process end? It doesn't.
No.
It never.
You don't like hit a finish line. You're not like recovered, like permanently recovered. You're not like forever fit. I think I thought of it as it's whenever I have abs, and like that process never ended.
No.
And it was just a consistent. I think that's a big part of this whole thing too, is like realizing there's no finish line. And I don't know if that makes it like more daunting or more like scary to think of it that way. Like there's no like end to this. I mean, I think that's kind of bleak.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like if you think about the addict term, if I accept that I'm an addict,
Yeah.
okay, I also have to accept that there's no finish line. So how can I change, evolve, and grow and learn the tactics to achieve long-term sobriety?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're coming in as the GDC project is what are the tools, the tricks of the trade, the habits I need to have, the mindset I need to have, the conversation I need to have within my own head so that I can continue to grow and stay on that path so that I can win that conversation. I could have just one drink. You could just have one, just have a sip.
Yeah.
You know, how do you win those conversations consistently? That's, I think, the hardest part is because the demons are always there.
Yeah. When they say it's outside doing push-ups waiting for you, I think it's true. But you're on a different level doing your own push-ups, and this is part of that toolbox.
Yeah. We're talking about that term addict and how I don't like it and our identity and how we have to change our identity. Let's talk about this best self exercise a little bit. It's an identity shifter. It's talking about the angel and the devil, your boss voice or your bitch voice, best self or anti-self. And they're conversations that we consistently have every day. In reality, we're thinking 60, 70, 80,000 different thoughts a day. Most of those thoughts, they're saying 90, 95% are negative. No, not negative. From the day before. And the majority of those are negative thoughts. They call them automatic negative thoughts. Ants. Dr. Daniel Amen calls them. So this exercise to me helps us realize that these thoughts are coming in and helps us have the conversation within our own mind. I know we talked about this exercise a little bit. You didn't really complete it last time, but you saw how it could benefit not just yourself, but someone within that conversation.
Yeah.
Did you have any more time to like reflect or think about it?
I mean, there wasn't a period where I sat down and really like explored it. I think it's always something that I'm constantly thinking of because, we get uncomfortable and like our first reaction is to, either run or, face it head on. I think it's just kind of embedded within, my own thoughts every day of just like, is this how I forever am? Or
What do you mean, is this how I forever am?
like having those thoughts, like, is there ever going to be a point where, you don't wonder, like, can you go out and just have a beer? And,
Well, bring it to the sense of what you're going through right now. Because I think, we like to think about the past and we like to think about the future, but in reality, we can only live in the moment. So how would like your best self and anti-self come into play like right now? Not in this moment, but maybe today.
That's a good question.
Yeah. My daily struggle, mostly every day, is a food struggle or a social media struggle. Really big. Like my phone attacks me and pulls me into these deep holes, and I know I shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And I know that one more swipe or one more scroll is not my best self communicating, or going into the pantry and getting a bucket of popcorn is not my best self speaking. And it is a fight and moments where I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just have the popcorn.
Yeah.
And that's a battle that I've lost.
And where does that always end up?
I'm upset.
Yeah.
You know,
You never like, all right, that was great.
yeah, never.
It wasn't, I enjoyed those first 5 minutes. It's like, fuck.
No, it's never like I enjoy the popcorn. The popcorn's delicious, and that's why I go to have
It
it.
will always be delicious.
Yeah.
Though. It'll always be there.
Yeah. And I don't want to say that popcorn's bad, but when my goal is to be whatever 10% body fat, like you were talking abs, like I want abs, I want to be 10% body fat. Not just for the aesthetics, but for the way I feel, that look good, feel good, play good. If we want to talk about sports, I know I feel better mentally, emotionally, physically when I'm at that lighter weight, and that popcorn doesn't help me get there. But in the moment, I have that war within my own head. And sometimes I'll stand in the kitchen and just be like almost pacing. Like, should I just go over there and sit on the couch, or should I go into a different room, or should I have the popcorn? And it's sometimes 2, 3, 4 minute conversation.
Yeah.
Then I'll succumb to the popcorn.
Oh, I might think about this stuff like in the morning. I'll think about dinner. I'm like, what am I gonna have? Like, what can I do? What should I do? And it's funny because like these, whether it's a steak or a beer or something else, like obviously there's like the scientific medical side of that, like the chemicals that rework your brain, but like food and like that's the same. It's the same struggle. There was something. Someone once said, I don't think we have a problem with substances. I think we have a problem with remembering. Remembering what that cycle felt like of like shame, the shame cycle, the guilt feeling like after you finish the bag of popcorn and you're just looking at it there like empty. You never like, all right, like I feel good. It's always, fuck. Like now I got to restart. Like now I feel like crap. It's remembering that, just how you felt in that downswing that really like can propel you forward.
Well, the thing we have to remember with that is, and you think about it as like rock bottom, but we normally don't make change until something's painful enough. Because we do things for pleasure or avoiding pain. So if you think about the popcorn, why are we having the popcorn? Pleasure. It's fucking delicious. Until the popcorn becomes painful enough, we're not going to stop it. So even if you think about addiction, until that addiction becomes painful enough, we're not going to be able to stop it, right? Because that pleasure is still higher than the pain. So one of the things I like to think about is maybe changing that through a story. And like, we don't want to hit rock bottom. I don't want to gain 15 pounds and 20 pounds and then be like, holy fuck, I need to make a change. I want to tell the story. If I keep eating the popcorn, and then what's going to happen? I'm going to gain the 15 pounds. I'm going to have to buy new clothes. I'm going to be out of breath. And all the things that are bad, and really visualize that and put it in my mind of like all the negative consequences of the popcorn. Make it super painful. And that's like, the thing about remembering, we remember through stories. So how do I create the story more so powerful? Like for me, when I would think about when I was really big, I had a problem with alcohol. I had a problem with food. I had a problem in my marriage. I had no fucking money. I hated myself. There's so many things that were bad when I was heavy that I know I'll never get back to that heavy. So I have this desire to be lean because I know how good I felt then. So I'm trying to chase the pleasure, but I'm also trying to avoid that pain.
Yeah.
So I get that double edge sword.
Yeah.
But the scarier part is being complacent. Like I'm okay right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay. And I think the complacent part is the most slippery slope that we could be on.
It's like one small thing in our day that we just blow out of proportion. And
Well, for me, I think about popcorn as a trigger. What does the popcorn lead to, right? What does it trigger me to do? Maybe it triggers me to get into not just the popcorn. Now I'm having ice cream, or now I'm having cereal, and then I get into the binge eating. Once the sugar hits, the binge eating, the negative feelings about oneself, right? The bad mental space. So it's like, it starts with something so simple like popcorn, but
it's a microcosm to everything else.
The downstream effect of that popcorn. So it's making the right decision for the long term. You have to suffer in the immediate for what you want most in the future. So, and there's a better quote for that than the way I said it. But
being rich is hard. Being poor is hard. Choose your hard.
Choose your hard.
Being, in recovery is hard. But being like in full blown addiction is also hard. Like, you're out there like every day, like, trying to, get money or just in that cycle. But having these conversations on the other side about, popcorn, that's hard as well. Like, so there's no like breezy, beautiful path, like where everything's just carefree. So I think it's just, and that kind of goes into this whole thing of like realizing like this is an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Like you don't just hit a point where you're like, oh, check,
done. It's over.
It's always going.
It's always going. It's always evolving and always changing. the addict part, right? We talked about identifying as an addict. It's evolving and changing my identity while knowing that's still there, right?
Yeah.
I was an addict. I still suffer from addictive tendencies, but I'm trying to build the right processes and habits to work through them. Like we talked about food. Food is I will say, the most addictive substance in the world because it's the only thing that we have to do every day. No matter what. It's like you can't, like in recovery, you could just stop drinking or stop.
You can't stop eating.
You can't stop eating. So I still have the battles with social media from other online devices, whatever, fuck it, porn.
Yeah.
I still have those vices that I cling to that I do need to control. But I also don't identify myself as an addict because I don't want that to control me. I want to control it. So it's how do I build the mental fortitude and the habits and systems to be able to control it? Because I want to give myself the power. And I think if we don't give ourselves the power, we'll never fully get to the other side. I have the power to recover. I have the power to change. I have the power to control my thoughts. The power lies within me, not the verbiage or the terminology. And once we realize that we have the power, it's not on your family. It's not on the rehab center. It's not on your
not everyone
coach.
else's fault.
It's not everybody. It's you have to take the power to be like, okay, I have a problem with addiction. I need to do the work. I need to change. I need to reshape my identity. I need to reshape my beliefs. I need to reshape my thought pattern. And that's the only way I'll truly reach that change in long-term recovery. I was just lost in my thoughts, but I think it's super important to realize that we have to take full ownership and progress forward realizing that.
Yeah. Which is what the first step is.
Yeah.
Taking that ownership. You know, we talk about accountability. That's step number one. I think that's just built into this, entire topic. And there's also a point of like, we need to be, give ourselves a little grace too. Like popcorn, like we've done worse than popcorn.
Yeah.
So maybe like a bowl is okay today.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't like lead me to go buy a popcorn factory and like I'm just tweaking out on popcorn like all day.
But I also think, like, to that, I think grace is a slippery slope. Because how often are you giving yourself grace?
And we can also, like, kind of pad that up a little bit. And be like, that self embellishing. And what's the word I'm looking for?
You're trying to talk yourself into the reason it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And that, to me, would go back to that Bell self and anti-self. It's like there's no middle. It's either good or bad. It's not like this is okay. And like the popcorn is either good or bad. Like, is it good for you or is it bad for you?
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. And like once we start talking ourselves into reasons why, what else are you going to talk yourselves into reason why it's good for you? Like that's where we talk about the drink of the beer. Okay, this is good for me right now. Yeah. Why is it good? And what are all the reasons why it's good? What are all the reasons I should be doing it or I can have it? And that's why I think like that giving grace is a slippery slope because what else can you give your grace for?
Yeah.
Rather than just making it like addiction, you have to make black and white.
Yeah.
I can't drink. I can't do drugs. I can't smoke. There's no grace there. Yeah. Right? As much as we want to tell ourselves there's grace,
which we always will.
There can't be. So that's why the grace makes me nervous. But then it's like, okay, I'm going to see a movie. Are you getting popcorn?
Absolutely.
100%.
It's the best butter in the world.
Yeah. 100%. And that's like, to me, I won't feel guilty there. No. I know if you invite me to a movie, I'm getting a large popcorn, large diet soda. Guaranteed. Yep. There's no questions asked. I'm going to be so happy about it. I might even ask you to go see a movie tomorrow. But that to me is okay. But if I'm sitting alone at home, rummaging through the pantry to get popcorn.
Yeah. It's a whole other issue.
It's a whole other issue.
It's wild to think about.
Yeah, well, I think that's good for today. I think that was actually a more powerful conversation than I intended it to be. I intended just going about this best health exercise, which is available in the school. You go on there, complete the exercise. Steve and I are both here to talk to you, to help. Our goal is to everyone to be empowered for long-term sobriety and to live your best, happiest, healthiest lives. And I think together we could all complete that.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you.